Okay, Yang Lu Chan's form, lesson 10. Getting the basics right from the beginning. Okay, what I want to talk about on this lesson, I'm not going to teach any more movements just yet. I just want to talk to you about the importance of doing things a specific way when you're first starting out. It's so common that a beginner will see myself or DVDs of Dad or other senior students doing certain things, and then they think, oh, well, I'll do it like he's doing it. But that's taken him 40 years to get to that level, or myself, it's taken me my whole life to get to that level. So basically, if you jump straight into doing that, you haven't learnt any of the groundwork. You haven't learnt how to retrain your energy to do the right things. So a basic example of that is single whip. Now, when I taught single whip in the previous lessons, I said about the straight arm, and that it is for a specific reason when you're first starting out. Because I've been doing this so long, when you see myself do single whip, and you come to here, that's what the posture is going to look like at a much more advanced level. Everything becomes smaller, more connected to the waist, softer. You begin to move your body in a way that you don't feel it moving with regards to the arms. So I don't feel tension using my arms so much when I'm doing postures. So when I'm doing single whip, when we're learning as a beginner, we learn, okay, circle it up, bring it down, make your hook, straighten your arm, and take out into the step. As you advance in your training, when I do that movement myself, if I'm coming into that posture, become that small. You might notice even on the end of certain strikes, the palm has a light, see even there, because I'm sort of in my Tai Chi state now because I've just done it a few times. If I wasn't doing my form and I just did that with my hand, nothing would happen. But when we're doing our Tai Chi form, there is energy flowing through the body. And if I'm coming out of that posture, I'm into that totally meditative state, palm will vibrate a little bit as I come forward, indicating that all my energy is being channeled to that point. The reason we have the straight arm in our training, effectively when you lock a joint, any joint in the body, when you push it out like that, or even doing that with the wrist for instance as well, even though that's not a locked joint as such, you can't really lock the wrist, but pushing it all the way in that direction, effectively creating tension in that joint. What that does is it actually blocks energy from flowing through it. When I say blocks, you can't completely block off energy. Energy is always flowing through every meridian in your body, but you're giving the energy a better path to go on, an easier path. So by locking out this one, basically that extra energy that you're building up in your body when you're doing your form will naturally channel to where it's easiest to go. So effectively by me locking my arm out like this, the energy goes, oh, no, I don't want to go that way, that's all blocked off, it's all yang and tense. So I'll come out the other hand, which is nice and soft. So effectively this posture, you're training your body to redirect energy to where it needs to go for the application. Whether that be a healing application or a martial application. Keep in mind with martial applications, never get into this thing of, oh, you can knock someone out with your chi. Utter garbage. It's all fake and lies. You cannot do it. You've got to hit people when you were doing self-defense. You've got to hit them physically. We do the energy training for healing properties in our bodies, so we can transmit energy into someone else. You'll notice this even with someone who doesn't necessarily practice Tai Chi or Qigong, but they just have a natural healing energy about them. If, for instance, someone gives you a massage of some sort, some people, their technique might not be particularly amazing, they may not have learnt any specific technique. However, certain people, they'll place their hands on you and you're just sort of, oh yeah, cool, yeah, whatever, give you a massage. Other people, usually either people who are training in this stuff or people who are more mature, because especially parents, they have a natural healing energy about them, being parents. As soon as they place their hands on your shoulders, you just kind of, oh yeah, you just relax down and everything relaxes, because they are transmitting their energy without them even knowing. Just by placing their hands on your shoulders, they are transmitting energy. So your form is teaching you about this. So we're locking that arm out. That's why the elbow is locked and why the wrist is bent down like this, so that when we come into this posture, because the rest of all this side of the body is all nice and loose and soft, your energy will just naturally know that that's where it should be going. Later on, after years and years of training, I'm talking like 10 years when you're getting to the very advanced levels, we don't need to do this anymore, because anything you do, I can just do that. And I know that my energy is being projected in that direction because of what my body's doing. I'm not just doing this with my arm. Every part of my body there, the intent is behind that hand. Now, I'm not teaching you this on this tape. These tapes are for beginners, so I'm not trying to teach you about this kind of movement. That's far too advanced. You just want to work on the basic structure. But just so that you understand, this is why you must do things a certain way as a beginner. When I'm doing things, you might think, oh, okay, I'll do my single whip like Eli's doing it, with not making the full hook, just having a loose hand and not straightening the arm. However, by you doing that as a beginner, you're literally just taking it from this posture to this posture. That's not what I'm doing. When I do it with this posture, there's a whole lot of other stuff that's going on. Literally every single element of my body, from the little weight change. My feet are going like this on the floor. My weight is rocking from heels to toes. My abdominal muscles are contracting. There's a whole heap of different things that are happening when I'm doing that posture at the advanced levels, which allow for the softness in this hand. But if you're working on basic foundational structure, which is what you should be working on, straighten your arm and lock the wrist down. Come up so you can feel totally soft on your left side, and then come forward. When I see someone do that posture, it looks nice, structured and powerful. Powerful yet soft. When I used to look at my dad when he would do single whip, that was the epitome of power through relaxation. And when he would do it, and the whole body would be totally soft, again, when I watched him do that posture like that, it was like, whoa, there's power there. You can almost see an aura of power in the body. Whereas when I see any beginner, even a sort of senior student, go like this, it doesn't look, it's not connected. The whole body is not connected yet. And so when they loosen this elbow, everything just looks weak and the structure is weakened. So absolutely most important, I did it and I've gotten to my level through the training that I did. So do not feel, oh, Eli's doing it like that, so I'll do it like that. I didn't do it like that when I was first starting out. I locked my arm out, I bent the wrist. So this is how I used to do it. And by doing it like that, that's what trained me to do it like this. It's not me who teaches you how to move. It's the form that teaches you how to move. I can show you the postures, But you have to do those postures in this specific way that I tell you, so that those postures will then train your energy to do a certain thing. So if, for instance, your body is very, very yin and weak, and you're a very shy and conserved person, you need to bring some energy out and yang your body up. Vice versa, if you're really yang and all like this all the time, you need to calm down a bit. So that's what the form will do you. So basically the way that we teach the basic form is like a happy medium of the two. It's an all-round balanced structure. When I teach you one-to-one, and I'm giving you a personal class, this is why the videos are great, but to really take your training forward, you really need to come to an actual class with myself or other WTBA instructors, so they can look at your form. When I look at someone do their form, I watch them. I just say, okay, first thing, I don't teach them anything, I just say, do your first third. And I literally just sit down and watch them do the first third. And then from watching them do that, I can see what their body needs. And each individual person is totally different. So it's not just a matter of saying, oh, okay, no, your foot should be here, not over there, and this hand should be here. Those are easy things. Anyone can tell you that's wrong if your hand's not in your center. It's the energy side of things. If I see someone, just a very basic example, if I see someone sort of sitting like this, now the wrist is in my center, and this hand's, everything's kind of in the right spot, but they're looking a bit weak. So I'll go, okay, bring it up, and straight away, after half an hour teaching from me, their whole energy, it's not just the physical structure that's changed. By changing the physical structure, their internal energy has therefore changed. Because that structure, by doing something, anything we do physically with our body, that affects our internal energy. So if you're doing really tense, awful stuff all the time, that's going to affect your energy and make you too yang. If you're doing really boring, lazy around sort of stuff all the time, that's going to make you too yin. So you've got to have a happy balance of the two. That's why we do really, really soft training some of the time to be totally calm. And yet other times, we'll do like things like our small sansao to bring up that yang energy. So we always have a balance of the two. Vice versa, again, just the other side of the coin. Again, if I get someone who's very strong and tense in their structure, I'll say, okay, just soften everything down. And again, their energy straight away, not just when they're doing their form, just when they're standing there talking to me, their energy will go from this just to this, just a bit more relaxed, just by changing the structure and the form. So that's all this lesson is about, just making sure that you understand that the way that I'm teaching it in these clips is how you should be doing it as a beginner student. So don't then go and look at advanced clips or demonstrations or myself doing things in class and think, oh well, I'll do it like that now. Everything I say, even though I'm teaching at a basic level here, so sometimes I might not give an explanation for for every single little detail that I might tell you to do, but just keep in mind this lesson, there is a reason for everything. There's nothing that I tell you to do that doesn't have a reason behind it. So straight arm, blocking off energy, projecting energy through the other hand, things like this. Okay, I think that should do you. So that's the end of lesson 10. No more moves, just keep that in mind. Work upon your basic structure, get all of that right. Once you're getting to a certain level with your training and you think you're sort of getting the moves right, that's when you should try to maybe come to a camp or a workshop, so then you can have your moves actually analysed by myself, or if you're in another country or something, then whoever's teaching in that country. And that way, you can really progress your training, because it's one thing to learn off DVDs and videos, but to get that direct energy transmission from a real human being will take your training to the next level. Okay, thanks. That's the end of lesson 10.